Hello, and welcome to ET Deep Dive, ET's best reported stories on audio. Today's episode is based on Alanjit K. Johnny and Mohit Bhalla's report on how private equity, having already reshaped India's hospital sector, is now moving into K-12 school education through the same trust plus service company structures. It's Sunday, the 2nd of August. I'm Anirban Chaudhary. This is the Morning Brief. If you woke up in 2026 after a decade in a coma, you'd be startled by how deep private equity has gone into India's private hospitals. KKR owns a majority stake in HCG. Temasek holds a big chunk of Manipal hospitals. Nearly every major hospital chain has taken PE money in some form. A striking outcome for a sector once built almost entirely on charitable trusts designed to keep promoters from pulling money out. Now, PE is eyeing a bigger prize: school education. KKR has backed Lighthouse Learning, which runs Billabong High, Euroschool, Heritage Experiential, and Center Point. Blackstone has bought into Jayashree Periwal schools, and Kedaara backs K-12 Techno Services, which runs Orchid International Schools. As much as $1.5 to $2 billion in PE money has flowed into Indian education over the last 10 years. The appeal is straightforward. Fees come in upfront, students stay enrolled for years, and parents keep paying even in a downturn. But like hospitals, schools run through not-for-profit trusts. So, PE money enters instead through the service, management, and infrastructure companies built around them. The question this raises: can private equity repeat its hospital playbook in the classroom? And what does that cost the classroom? PE interest stems from how families treat schooling. Jacob Kurian was a former partner at New Silk Route, a PE firm that was a pioneer in investing in K-12 schools. He says, parents don't pull their children out in the middle of an education cycle. Unlike healthcare, where if a doctor moves, the patient follows, in education, the child stays through the full cycle of 12 years regardless. New Silk Route once owned a significant stake in Sri Chaitanya schools, which it sold back to the promoters. Once a child is enrolled, the relationship with the school can run over a decade. Add to that a country where private schooling is in high demand and government spending has not kept pace, and it is easy to see why investors have gotten involved. Government spending on health and education individually is each under 5% of GDP, and the population that needs schooling is enormous. India has close to 508 million aged 3 to 23 years. That is a formal education cohort 1.4 times the size of China, according to a DRHP filed by education platform Elevate Campuses. For Jayashree Periwal, founder of Jayashree Periwal Schools, a Blackstone portfolio company, PE capital has resulted in expansion. She says, we can reach out to more children and reach out to more cities. Empower children. Her schools in Jaipur include 3 large campuses and 5 kindergartens. Only one of the big schools runs an international curriculum, and it's residential too, drawing students from India, Singapore, China, Taiwan, Japan, Italy, UK, the Netherlands, and Spain. To understand PE money flow, it helps to understand how a school is set up in the first place. A school in India cannot be owned by a company. It has to be run by a trust, society, or something called a Section 8 company. all structures that are legally not for profit. This trust does two main things. It runs the school and it pays teachers' salaries. Everything else can be outsourced. The school bus, the uniforms, catering, IT support, HR, finance, marketing, teacher training. None of this has to sit inside the trust. This is where PE has found its opening. A fund doesn't buy the trust. It builds a separate company that provides these outsourced services, and that company charges the school trust a fee. The trust stays not for profit exactly as the law requires. The company earning the profit sits one step away. As a lawyer says, structures are set up with isolated buckets or silos for the not-for-profit trusts, which continue to operate the schools. All the licenses sit with those trusts, and the employees and teachers are employed by the trust. You essentially have service providers who come in to work with these trusts. It also means clearing several layers of government approval before a single class can begin. The lawyer says, broadly, this is a three-layered regulatory regime. State-level compliances, which is what you need just to commence operations. Central compliances, which is fundamentally the Right to Education Act. And affiliation-specific compliances depending on which board you are affiliated to. On top of that come two rules that hit a school's finances directly. Several states cap how much a school can raise its fees each year. Private schools are also required to set aside a share of seats for students from economically weaker families at reduced or no fees. Both rules exist to keep education affordable. Both also cut into what a school or a company servicing it can actually earn. That combination, a not-for-profit trust at the center and a for-profit services company built around it, is what people in the sector call a grey area. It hasn't been challenged or tested in any major way yet. Mukesh Tiwari, partner at Alta Capital, which is the 100% owner and investor in Elevate Campuses, has watched PE money enter from close range. There were multiple platform plays. Coaching is a platform, but that's discretionary spend. You have platforms that invest directly in schools, and you have NBFCs doing the financing side. Between all of this, nobody has focused on the essentials. The real estate and infrastructure management of schools. That's where we come in. Hospitals faced similar restrictions and built the same kind of structure around it called OpCo-PropCo structures in legal parlance. To put it simply, an operations company and a property management company are put in place. They charge the trust for services and manage the real estate. Now, it doesn't matter if the trust runs a hospital or an education institution. The money it earns can still be directed to these companies. Rajiv Singhal, CEO of Marengo Asia Hospitals, which is backed by Samara Capital, the Godrej family office and the Havels family office, says, OpCo-PropCo structures exist in hospitals as well. Max Hospital Saket, one of Delhi's largest, is registered as a trust with a separate OpCo that charges its fees. Fortis Hospital Vasant Kunj is structured the same way. So is BL Kapoor Hospital in Delhi. Singhal sees real upside in PE entering education the same way it has entered hospitals. He says, private equity can achieve certain things by entering education. Professionalism will come, scale will come, especially if they build brands, they can take it to tier 2 cities where people want better offerings. All of which is welcome. But for those who have spent years building schools, the worry is about what changes once a fund is involved. Nipun Goenka, MD of GD Goenka Group, which operates over 120 K-12 schools, says, I believe the soul should remain in the school. It should not be too much about cost optimization. After all, you're dealing with students. If a private equity player comes in, it's all about the bottom line. He also sees clearly why funds are drawn to the business. It's a good annuity model, he says. Schools are also incrementing fees by 5 to 10% every year, a good compounding return over 12 years. There are also questions around whether consolidation of the sort that happened in hospitals will also happen in schools, resulting in the rise of chains and franchises. The sector does have plenty of room for upsides. Akanksha Sethi, partner at LEK Consulting's global education practice, says, "The market is characterized by a persistent supply-demand imbalance with limited capacity in high-quality schools. Coupled with rising household incomes, this has strengthened parents' willingness to spend on premium private education offering best-in-class infrastructure and international curricula." The predictability of the cash flow works in a fund's favor too. Sethi says, "It has a negative working capital model since fees are collected at the start of the academic year. It offers long-term revenue visibility with students typically enrolled for 12 years. It's resilient to economic downturn as parents tend to prioritize education spending over most other discretionary expenses." Even so, the question is whether PEs can replicate the success that they got in hospitals. Nobody has seen an exit. No large PE-backed education platform has gone public. None has been sold at the scale of hospital chains. The management company structures built around school trusts have never been through a public market or any real stress test. But then, hospitals had almost a 10-year head start, and even there, big exits are a fairly recent development. Education is further behind that curve. Simply put, the capital arrived well before anyone has proven it can be multiplied. So, schools are only getting started on the path which hospitals have perfected after a decade. Whether the trust survives the deal is the story we'll be watching. That's it for today. You were listening to the latest ET Deep Dive, reported by Alanjit K. Johnny and Mohit Bhalla, narrated for audio by me, Anirban Chaudhary. This episode was sound designed by Amrit Redji. Keep following our podcasts on your favorite platforms. Stay tuned.